Have you ever looked at pictures of older folks in Italy? The ones with those bright eyes and easy smiles, and just wondered, what on earth is their secret? How do they seem to have that kind of vibrant energy, that spark for life, well into their 80s and even beyond? It's a beautiful thought, isn't it? But here is a more urgent question. What if the very lifestyle we Americans believe is keeping us healthy is actually, silently, chipping away at our precious years? What if I told you that our disciplined trips to the gym could actually be accelerating the aging process inside our bodies? It's a shocking thought. And here's the nightmare that no one talks about. For many of us over 60, certain healthy habits are doing more harm than good, creating a quiet storm of inflammation and stress that wears down our bodies from the inside out. As a doctor who has cared for seniors for over 3 decades, I can tell you the truth. The secret to a long, healthy life isn't found in a prescription bottle or some expensive, grueling fitness plan. It's found in 4 simple, almost forgotten, daily habits. I'm not talking about theory. I'm talking about real people. Let me tell you about a dear patient of mine, Nancy, a 78-year-old woman from Ohio. She came into my office with dangerously high blood pressure, worried about her future. After just 3 months of applying only one of the secrets we'll discuss today, her blood pressure dropped an incredible 40 points, without a single extra pill. In this video, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to arm you with the knowledge that saved Nancy. We are going to walk through the 4 life-changing secrets of Italian longevity, one by one. These are simple, free adjustments you can start making today to reclaim your energy and your health. And please, make sure you stay with me until the very end, because the 4th secret I'll reveal is the most powerful of all. It's a philosophy, really, one that can change how you feel about your life in a single hour. It is the key to not just living longer, but living better. Everything I share today is grounded in solid research from institutions like Harvard and Johns Hopkins, but more importantly, it's proven in the lives of people just like you. Before we get started, I truly want to know how many of us share this feeling. If what I've just described resonates with you, if you've ever worried that you're not aging as well as you could be, please, just take a moment to type a simple yes in the comments below. It helps me understand, and it shows others in our community that they are not alone. Okay, let's uncover the first secret. Alright, let's get right into our first, and perhaps most profound, difference. Difference number 1. The Italian meal ritual versus American speed eating. Let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. Think about your last meal. Were you sitting at a table with no distractions? Or were you, like so many of us, eating in front of the television, maybe standing over the kitchen counter, or even finishing your lunch in the car? This is the American way of speed eating. It's a habit born from a lifetime of being busy, and it seems harmless enough. But I am here to tell you, as your doctor, this single habit could be one of the most damaging things we do to our bodies as we age. Let me explain the science in a very simple way. It takes about 20 minutes for your stomach to send the message to your brain that says, okay, I'm full now. When we rush through a meal in 7 or 10 minutes, we are essentially overfilling the tank before the gauge can even react. We eat far more than our bodies actually need, simply because the signal hasn't had time to arrive. Now, here is the crucial part for those of us over 60. Why does this become so much more dangerous as we get older? Because our digestive systems, they aren't the powerful machines they were at 30. They work a bit slower, and they're more sensitive. Forcing our bodies to rapidly digest a large amount of food creates an incredible amount of stress. It's like forcing an old classic car to go from 0 to 60 in just a few seconds. It puts a strain on the entire system. This constant strain is a direct cause of heartburn, indigestion, and a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation. And inflammation, as we now know, is the hidden root of so many age-related health issues, from aching joints to heart disease. Does this sound familiar to you? Have you ever felt bloated, tired, or just completely sluggish after a meal, even a healthy one? That heavy feeling, that food coma that makes you want to nap immediately, that is the sign. That is your body telling you that it is overwhelmed. I've seen this happen hundreds of times in my practice. Let me tell you about Robert, a wonderful 72-year-old gentleman from Texas. Robert spent his career in sales, and his habit of eating lunch in his car in under 7 minutes was deeply ingrained. He came to see me because he was constantly exhausted and had put on about 30 pounds that he just couldn't shake. He told me, "Doc, I eat salads, I eat grilled chicken. I don't understand why I feel so terrible and keep gaining weight." Robert was doing what he thought was right, but his method of eating was sabotaging all his good intentions. His story isn't just an anecdote. It's backed by sobering evidence. Researchers at the world-renowned Johns Hopkins University conducted a major study and found that individuals who eat quickly have a shocking 200% higher risk of developing metabolic syndrome. That's a cluster of conditions we all dread. High blood pressure, elevated blood sugar, and that dangerous belly fat that puts so much strain on our hearts. Rushed eating triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol, which disrupts blood sugar and tells your body to store fat, particularly in the abdominal area. Now, let's look at the Italian way. In Italy, a meal is not about refueling. It is a ritual. It's a cherished, protected part of the day. They gather around a table. The television is off. The phones are put away. They talk, they laugh, they savor every bite. This isn't just a charming cultural tradition. It is a powerful form of medicine. By eating slowly in a relaxed state, they activate the part of the nervous system responsible for rest and digest. This simple act lowers cortisol, reduces that harmful inflammation, and allows their bodies to absorb up to 40% more nutrients from the same food. So, here is the solution. It is simple, it is free, and you can start tonight. I want you to adopt the Italian 20-minute rule. With your next meal, simply set a timer on your phone or your kitchen stove for 20 minutes. Your only goal is not to finish eating before that timer goes off. Put your fork down between each bite. Chew your food thoroughly. Really taste it. If you're eating with a loved one, use this time to connect, to have a real conversation. This is the exact change we made for Robert. No restrictive diet. No counting calories. Just this one simple rule. The results were astounding. He naturally started eating less because he felt full and satisfied. His digestion improved dramatically. And over a few months, he lost 25 pounds. But more importantly, he told me he had more energy than he'd had in a decade. So I urge you, please begin this practice. Think of it as a gift of healing that you give to your body with every meal. If this lesson has been helpful for you, if it has opened your eyes to something new, please let me know by commenting the word mindful below. It tells me that you're with me on this journey, and I truly appreciate you listening. Difference number 2. Daily movement versus our American gym culture. Now, let's talk about the second major difference, and this one might surprise you because it goes against everything we've been told for the last 40 years. It's the contrast between Italian daily movement and our American gym culture. So many of my patients are proud of the fact that they go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, pushing themselves hard on the treadmill or lifting heavy weights. They believe, with the best of intentions, that this is the key to staying young and fit. But as a doctor who has seen the long-term effects of this on aging bodies, I have to share a difficult truth. For many of us over 60, this all-or-nothing approach to exercise can cause more harm than good. Let's think about it with a simple analogy. Imagine your body is a classic car engine that you've cared for over many years. Pushing yourself through an intense hour-long workout is like revving that engine into the red zone, holding it there, and then shutting it off completely for 2 or 3 days. This cycle of extreme stress followed by long periods of inactivity creates wear and tear. It spikes stress hormones like cortisol, which we know causes inflammation, and it puts immense strain on our joints. Here is the essential reason why this is so critical as we age. The protective cartilage in our knees, our hips, and our spine. It's simply not as thick and resilient as it was when we were younger. High-impact, high-intensity workouts can create tiny, microscopic injuries in this aging cartilage. Over months and years, these small injuries accumulate and lead to the very thing we are trying to avoid: chronic inflammation and persistent, nagging pain. Does this sound painfully familiar? Do your knees or your back ache for days after a trip to the gym? Do you find yourself feeling more drained and exhausted than energized after a workout? That feeling of depletion, that is a warning sign. It's your body telling you that the cost of the activity was too high. This was exactly the story of Susan, a 68-year-old patient of mine from Arizona. Susan was a firm believer in the no pain, no gain philosophy. She'd push herself through spin classes and weightlifting sessions, only to spend the next 2 days recovering on her couch with an ice pack on her knee. She was frustrated, telling me, "Doc, I'm doing everything right, but I just feel older and more tired every year." Susan's experience is validated by a wealth of scientific research. Studies from the renowned Mayo Clinic have shown that for promoting longevity, consistent, low-intensity movement throughout the day is significantly more beneficial than sporadic, high-intensity workouts. The Italians have known this for centuries. They don't have workouts. They have a lifestyle of movement. They call it passeggiata, a leisurely evening stroll where neighbors meet and chat. They walk to the local market every day instead of driving to a supermarket once a week. They tend to their gardens. They take the stairs. This gentle, constant movement keeps their cardiovascular system healthy, maintains muscle tone, and supports joint health without ever triggering that damaging inflammatory response. So, here is the beautifully simple solution. I want you to stop thinking about exercise as something you have to schedule and endure. Instead, start looking for opportunities to weave movement or incidental exercise into the fabric of your day. Park your car at the far end of the parking lot. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. When you're on the phone, walk around your house instead of sitting down. Aim for just 30 minutes of gentle walking each day. You can break it up into 3 10-minute walks if you like. Please, stop punishing your body. It has served you well for a long time. Now is the time to start nurturing it with gentle, consistent, and joyful movement. If this idea surprises you, if it goes against what you've always believed about exercise, let me know by commenting the word "wow" below. It shows me that we're learning something new together. Difference number 3. Community connection versus social isolation. This next difference, it might be the most important one of all. It's not about what we eat or how we move. It's about how we connect with other human beings. It is the life-saving power of the Italian community versus the silent epidemic of social isolation in America. As a doctor, I can tell you that chronic loneliness is one of the most dangerous health conditions a person can face, especially as we get older. It is not just a feeling of sadness. It is a physical state of being that triggers a cascade of destructive processes in the body. Let me explain it this way. When your brain perceives that you are isolated and alone, it interprets it as a survival threat. It activates the body's ancient fight-or-flight response system. It's like a smoke alarm in your body that is blaring 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This constant state of high alert floods your system with inflammatory chemicals and stress hormones, day after day. This weakens your immune system, raises your blood pressure, and disrupts your sleep. It is a state of constant internal siege. Why is this particularly devastating as we age? Because our brains are fundamentally hardwired for social connection. When we are deprived of it, the parts of our brain responsible for memory, emotional regulation, and decision-making can literally begin to shrink. The chronic inflammation caused by loneliness directly contributes to the development of heart disease, diabetes, and even certain types of cancer. What are the symptoms? It can be a persistent feeling of anxiety or a low mood you can't shake. It can be that feeling of brain fog, where your thinking just doesn't feel sharp. It can even manifest as getting sick more often, as your immune system is no longer functioning at its best. My heart breaks when I think of Margaret, a 76-year-old woman from Michigan who was in my care. Her husband had passed, and her children lived out of state. She told me, her voice quiet, that most days, the only voice she heard was the television. She was withering away, not from a specific disease, but from a profound lack of human connection. Her situation is terrifyingly common, and the evidence is undeniable. A landmark study from Johns Hopkins University followed thousands of adults and came to a shocking conclusion. Social isolation increases the risk of premature death by 50%. Let me put that in perspective for you. That is the same risk as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. The same study showed that isolated seniors face a 64% higher risk of developing dementia. Now, look at the Italian culture, which provides a powerful antidote. Life revolves around connection. The Sunday family meal, with 3 generations laughing and arguing around a table, is a sacred institution. Daily trips to the piazza or the local cafe aren't just for errands. They are vital points of social contact. These small, daily interactions create a powerful social safety net, ensuring that no one ever feels truly alone. Here is what you can do. You can start today. I want you to adopt what I call the Italian Sunday strategy. Designate one day each week, it doesn't have to be Sunday, as your day for meaningful social connection. This is non-negotiable, like a doctor's appointment. Call an old friend you haven't spoken to in months. Invite a neighbor over for a cup of tea. Join a book club, a church group, or a volunteer organization. Even the smallest acts, like making conversation with the cashier at the grocery store, can begin to chip away at the foundations of loneliness. Please, do not wait for the phone to ring. Be the one to pick it up and make the call. Your brain, your body, and your spirit will thank you for it. Please, comment the word connect below as a promise to yourself. A promise to reach out to just one person this week. Difference number 4. The philosophy of La Dolce Vita versus our American hustle culture. We've arrived at our fourth and final secret, and in many ways, it's the most revolutionary, because it challenges the very core of our American identity. It's the difference between the Italian philosophy of La Dolce Vita, the sweet life, and our deeply ingrained hustle culture. Here in America, we are taught from a young age that our value is tied to our productivity. We work hard, we stay busy, and we feel guilty when we rest. This pressure doesn't stop when we retire. So many of my patients have schedules that are just as packed as when they were working, filled with obligations, projects, and a constant underlying worry. This relentless busyness keeps our bodies in that same state of chronic stress we just discussed. Let me explain what this is doing to you at a cellular level. Inside each of your cells, you have chromosomes, and at the end of those chromosomes are little protective caps, like the plastic tips on a shoelace. They're called telomeres. Every time your cells divide, these telomeres get a little bit shorter. Their length is, quite literally, a marker of your biological age. Chronic stress, the kind that comes from constant busyness and worry, dramatically speeds up how fast these telomeres shorten. This is why this becomes so profoundly critical as we get older. Our body's natural resilience to stress, our internal shock absorbers, simply aren't what they used to be. A day packed with activities that might have been invigorating at 40 can now be completely depleting at 70, leaving our bodies swimming in a toxic bath of stress hormones. What are the signs that this is happening to you? It's that feeling of being tired but wired at night, where you can't fall asleep. It's a persistent irritability or a short temper. It's that high blood pressure reading at the doctor's office that you just can't seem to get under control. These are not normal parts of aging. They are signs that your body is crying out for rest. I think of David, a 69-year-old patient from Florida who sold his successful business to retire. But he couldn't stop. He joined 3 different boards, started a consulting business, and managed his investments obsessively. He came to me with severe insomnia and heart palpitations. He was proud of how active he was in retirement, but his body was paying the price. He had forgotten how to simply be. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, has published research showing that individuals living in a state of chronic stress can age at a cellular level up to 40% faster than those who manage their stress effectively. The Italian philosophy of La Dolce Vita is the perfect remedy. It is important to understand that this is not about being lazy. It is about the deliberate, conscious choice to prioritize well-being over productivity. It's the wisdom to understand that rest is not a weakness. It is a vital biological necessity. It's taking a real lunch break, without checking your phone. It's the tradition of the riposo, a short afternoon rest to allow the body to recover. It's an unhurried walk with no destination in mind. These are not indulgences. They are essential practices for a long and healthy life. You can begin to embrace this philosophy today. You don't need to move to Italy. You simply need to permit yourself to slow down. I want you to schedule rest into your day, just like you would schedule an appointment. Block out 15 minutes to sit quietly, listen to music, or read a chapter of a book, with no other goal than to relax. Practice the power of saying no to obligations that don't bring you joy. You have worked hard your entire life. You have earned this. It is not selfish to rest. It is essential for your survival and your happiness. Allow yourself to enjoy the sweet life. If you are committing today to give yourself the gift of rest, to put your own well-being first, please comment the word relax below. You deserve it. So, as we come to the end of our time together today, let's go back for a moment. Remember the story I told you about Robert, that wonderful 72-year-old gentleman from Texas? The one who was always exhausted, eating his lunch in his car in just a few minutes. Well, I'm happy to tell you that today, Robert is a completely different man. He now enjoys long, unhurried meals with his wife. He has the energy to play with his grandchildren. He told me on his last visit, with a big smile, that he hasn't felt this good in 20 years. He didn't go on some complicated diet, and he didn't spend a dime. He simply changed how he approached his life, starting with his meals. His story proves the beautiful truth we've uncovered today. The secret to a long, healthy, and happy life as we age isn't hidden in some complex, expensive formula. It is found in the simple, profound, and powerful joys that have been there all along. A slow, mindful meal, a gentle walk in the fresh air, a meaningful conversation with a loved one, and giving ourselves the grace and permission to simply rest. We have explored 4 critical habits that can truly transform our golden years. But as your doctor, I know that knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So now, I have one important question for you. What is the one commitment you are making to yourself after watching this video? It could be as simple as, I will take a 10-minute walk tomorrow, or I will call my sister this weekend. It could be, I will put a timer on for my dinner tonight. Please share your personal commitment in the comments below. Reading them inspires me, and more importantly, it will inspire others in our community to take that brave first step. And if you found real value and inspiration in our time together, please show your support by giving this video a like. It truly helps this message reach more people who need to hear it. To ensure you continue on this journey with us, and never miss another video full of life-changing wisdom, hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing, it's joining a community, a family of friends, all dedicated to living our best lives together. Finally, I want you to think of one person who needs to hear this message today, and please share it with them. You might just change their life. It could be the most important gift you give them all week. Thank you for watching and for sharing your valuable time with me. Stay healthy, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next video.